Well, I first heard about the worms over the phone. I was at work, and I got a phone call from Zach asking me if I wanted to play on a basketball team and be the big man in the center. And I had to put him on hold because I was laughing so hard.
Well, as you know, Zach, I was sitting around drinking beers with the rest of the guys that form up the Worms, and you came in and said you were trying to get a basketball team started, and it sounded like a grand idea. So I think that's basically how the Worms started. I think a lot of it was Scott Baker and Scott McClain and I were all in the same room, I think.
Yes, they are absolutely the worst team I've ever seen in my life. And after covering half the season here, this team, I realize, has made an art out of losing.
I had about 6 customers trying to talk to me at the same time, so I just said, sure, yeah, just to get them off the phone.
They didn't have big salaries. They didn't have any talent. They didn't even have a real coach. But at least they had a logo. It was the Worms against the Pistons.
This is K-League basketball at its finest. Believe me, it's a dangerous sport.
But it was the Pistons who were in danger at the start. Mark the Coil Brenneman with the tip to Roland Barris. And the Worms take the early lead. Then Brenneman again with the steal. And the jumper. And the Worms are thinking city championship. But suddenly the officials turned against the Worms. Brenneman was forced to remove his bandana and would be virtually useless for the rest of the game. Here Brenneman misses this easy lay-in following a great outlet pass by University of Oregon art professor Paul Boland. Brenneman will go on to miss all of his remaining 5 shots. But before Brenneman's play soured, the Worms scored 10 of the next 16 points to take the lead. Boland inside, Finning from 15 feet, Scott McClain 12-footer, and a 3-point shot by Cliff Finning. The Pistons called a timeout, but the Worms kept on sliming. Finning dishes to Barris, and Register Guard sports columnist Ron Bellamy connects for 2 more. 2 minutes left in the first half. Finning follows a shot by Ted Bradwell, and the Worms head into their mythical locker room with a 24-22 lead. And now for the halftime interview with Scott McClain.
This is the Scudge Man, the halftime interview.
Here I am. I am the Sludge Man, and I have been playing some gnarly-ass basketball.
But not gnarly enough to keep the Pistons from battling back to take a 35-34 third-quarter lead. The Pistons' fast break, 14 turnovers, and 35% shooting were too much for the Worms to overcome. The Worms sent the Pistons to the free throw line 27 times, but it was the Worms who cried foul. Here, a great save by the Pistons leads to Finning's second foul, and 2 more points for the Pistons. Trailing by 7 with 2 minutes left now, Barris misses the 3-pointer. Brenneman follows, puts it back up, but nothing will go for the Worms in the waning moments. The last moment of glory for Club Venus, Dave Gibson pulls down the defensive board, drives the length of the court, bounce pass to Ted Bradwell, gets it back and drives the lane for 2 of his career-high 3 points. But the Pistons, 3-point favorites, win it by 5, 48-43. The Slime Beer player of the game for the Worms, Cliff Finning. The University of Oregon student had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Pick up a 6-pack of Slime today. The Worms did out-rebound the Pistons 33-25, but had 20 fouls while the Pistons had only 11. Barris finished the night with 9 points, McClain had 7, and Paul Boland led the team with 8 rebounds. Now it's time for our post-game interviews, starting with the Sludge Man, Scott McClain.
It was awful. I can't believe it. I even got called for 3 seconds in the key, and I'd been knocked down on my back and laying in the key. 3 in the key.
I played my game. I missed my 8 shots. I'm happy.
Well, Gatorade for the man.
Yeah, the plug for Gatorade. We're expecting to shoot only 3-pointers next week. And Zach was 0 for 10 tonight, but we're going to practice on it, and I think it might be the difference next week.
Thank you.
Champagne, Gatorade, where is it?
Our big strategy is that we've decided that we're not going to wash our uniforms. We're never going to wash our uniforms. And I think by the 10th game of the season, everybody will be afraid of us.
All right, those are swell uniforms, I must say.
Totally cool uniform.
John Driscoll, the outstanding high scorer for the team we just played, whoever they were.
The Pistons.
The Pistons, sorry. John, you're off to a good start, 5-point victory. After seeing that first game, probably pretty intimidated as we were.
Yeah, they looked pretty tough to beat. I thought, to tell you the truth, that you guys were probably going to be able to work it inside a little bit over us. We've never played together as a team, but I think a little hustle on our part. You guys took it a little easy, and we also got the benefit of some 3-second calls. I think somebody wasn't used to where the line was. But other than that, you guys played real good. I was surprised by the end.
So you think we took it easy, huh?
I think you did. I think you weren't really ready for us. I think you saw us. We're all old and over 40, and they said these guys can't run. And we got depth on the bench, and then everybody, and you're also running guys in that we're ready to get the ball, shoot. You guys look good. You've got some moves. If you pass it around a little more, work it inside. I think you guys would be tough to beat.